Woohoo.
All right. What a fantastic group of people we've had at ReferralTopia this session. It's really been fantastic. I appreciate your engagement. I know our speakers feed off of it. And if you ever hear anything coming from a presenter, knee-jerk reaction, think about it because it could be a good question to follow up with after their presentation is complete. But I think we're ready to get rocking and rolling. So, one of the great things about being in CirrusNet for myself is having so many phenomenal facilitators, people that are carrying on the mission that I started. I facilitate 6 CirrusNet teams myself. But there are a lot of them out there, and my good friend Doug Moffett, who is the 2025 Facilitator of the Year, has started 3 different CirrusNet teams, and I felt it would be appropriate to put Doug on the spot since he's a quick thinking facilitator. I thought Doug might like to introduce our speaker today because Kathy King is one of Doug's members. So, Doug, I'm going to turn it over to you to give Kathy a warm introduction for her presentation.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Steve. I just want to say how awesome Kathy King is, which you are all going to see here in just a moment. We met a while back, thanks to, of course, a referral. A woman named Jody Randolph knew Kathy from their dance world, and Kathy and I did a trust builder before Kathy knew what a trust builder was at Two Brothers or Captains on Main. We sat out in the back, and she said, I want to learn from other business owners. I feel like I've been living in a little bit of a silo. And so here she is several years later, 2-time MVP. Kathy, we're so excited to go ahead and take it away. I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been so fun. When I first joined, and I'll share screen here in a second. When I first joined CirrusNet, my business really was focused on coaching dance business professionals. So I have a background in the performing arts industry, which you will learn a little bit more about. I got my screen shared right there for you. Woohoo. Okay, so yeah, so coming into CirrusNet, I was like, what is this group going to do for me? I coach dance business professionals. This is a group of business owners. Are any of these people even choreographers? What's going on? But what I very quickly learned was that, a business is a business and we all really need each other. And I love hearing your stories. JJ and Kevin, I loved, so fitting. Steve, you did a great job pulling together a group of speakers today because I feel like we're all definitely in alignment with where we're coming from and what we want to share today. So really, it's interesting to watch my business evolve over the years that I've been a part of CirrusNet. So just shout out to all of you if we've been in a group together, if we've connected. You've definitely inspired the way that I do business, and I hope that we can all continue to inspire each other. This is definitely a different kind of networking and referral group than any of the other ones out there. And Steve did not pay me to say that. But yeah, so today I wanted to share a little bit of my passion in building a business that really supports the life you want to live rather than just letting your life become your business, right? And if you are an entrepreneur, for any of you who own your businesses, I'm sure you can relate to that. Those, moments at 3 a.m. when you woke up and your brain won't shut off, so you're writing down ideas, or you feel like you're a chicken with your head cut off and you're running here, there, and everywhere because you have to play all of the roles. It's funny. I say, if you ever see me talking to myself, like mind your own business, I'm having a staff meeting because as the CEO, I'm also meeting with my marketing director and my CFO and all that. And that's all me, right? As Doug mentioned, I definitely felt like I was in a silo coming into CirrusNet because I was building Kathy King strategies from the ground up by myself. And so being able to come together in a community and connect was everything. And part of my value and part of my mission in what I'm doing is to help continue building community. So hopefully I can just inspire you a little bit today to really think about reconnecting with your why as a business owner or a professional in what you do. If you don't own your business, but you're very passionate about what you're doing, which I imagine if you're spending this time with us today on a Thursday morning for 2.5 hours on Zoom, you're pretty passionate about what you do and you're pretty passionate about sharing that with others. So when is the last time that you actually, for real, don't lie to me, thought about your mission, your vision, and your values? This is typically something, it's typically like these are words on a website or they're posted on a bulletin board in your staff lounge. But when have you actually sat down and dug into it and thought about it, right? Billy said yesterday, love that. Keep that going, right? I like to ask this because it really helps us to get to the root of like designing our business in a way that not only reflects what's important to you as an individual, but it allows you to make clearer decisions and put you in the path of the right people. Yes, Karen, every day. Get it. Mary, yesterday. Yes, love. Okay, we're in the room with the right people. You guys are awesome. The world's going to tell you 1,000 different ways to run your business and live your life, right? We're inundated with information every day. Eat this, don't eat that. Drink water, don't drink water. Walk, run. Lift weights, don't lift. Like we're told every single day how to live our life. We're told 100 million different ways how to run your business. This is the right way. This is the right software to use. All that. But the magic in being like super totally aligned with what your mission is, what your values are, is that you're able to make decisions that are based in your best interest and not what society is telling you is normal, right? So you're able to really, and I love like JJ, like as soon as you dove into like values, I was literally going, yes, this is everything, right? Our values are everything, not only your personal values, but personal and professional tend to kind of cross paths some. So rather than just sitting back in default and going, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. Or I tell my clients all the time, don't should on yourself. This is what I should be doing. Um, I want you to like really think about like, is this in alignment with my mission? Is this in alignment with the vision I see for myself and my business and my clients? Is this in alignment with my values that I hold really strong? So I'm interested, I talk really fast, y'all. I'm from Michigan. Okay. So while I'm talking really fast, I'm throwing all this your way. Drop in the comments, what are some of your values as a business owner? Sorry, I dropped my notebook. As a business owner, as an individual, what are some of your core values that you hold dear? And I think that's a great way for us to get to know each other too. And so while you do that, I'll just kind of give you a little background. I loved hearing, a little more from in our breakout rooms about who you guys are and all that. So my mission to empower other people, it began in a dance studio. Like a lot of little girls, my parents put me in dance as soon as I could walk. So I've been dancing for like 800 years. When I was maybe about 8 years old, I remember very specifically looking at my parents and saying, I'm going to be a dance teacher when I grow up. Not I hope to be, not I want to be, but like that's what I'm going to do. I was so inspired by my own teachers. And my parents, they wholeheartedly supported that ambition. There was no, oh, well, honey, that's, you're not going to make much money doing that, or, you'll need a backup plan, or go get a degree in something else just in case. It was, okay, what can we do to help you become the best dancer and dance teacher you can be? So for those of you who are parents, I'm the cool aunt in my family. I don't have kids, not planning on having them. But for those of you who are parents in the room, support your kids' crazy dreams. Trust me, it works out. Okay. So without hesitation, they really supported that. I started performing professionally when I was 15. One of my fun facts I like to share is my first job that I got paid for was as a backup dancer for an Elvis impersonator. Poodle skirts and all. It was a great time. Went on to do backup dancing for hip hop artists and perform in small films and do things like that. So lots of great things. I started teaching officially when I was 16 years old. And I launched my first company, which was a professional performance company when I was 21. I was a tiny baby. I had no idea what I was doing. I literally bought the book, Small Business for Dummies, Nonprofit for Dummies. You remember those, the yellow and black books at my Wayne State bookstore. And that's how I learned to run a business. I had no clue. My dad hooked me up with his attorney to help me with some of the, getting the LLC put in place and all of that. And all I knew was that I wanted to help dance be more accessible to the everyday person. All I knew was that I loved dance and I loved what it brought to my life, and I wanted to share that with others. it really wasn't much more than that. But then I really started noticing my students telling me that my classes inspired them to be more confident at school. And I started noticing that my alumni were coming back to the studio and they were sharing like how what they learned in my classroom helped them feel more confident going into a job interview. um, People coming to my shows leaving saying, you know what, like I've never been to a dance show before, but the music and the dance, like I felt emotions I haven't felt in a long time. So something super powerful was really happening with all of that. And I always like to say that dance training is life training. So any of you that have a daughter in dance or a son in dance, or any of you, you know, if you hesitate to bust a move on the dance floor at your next wedding you're going to, I just want to encourage you. Like dance is truly transformational and life changing. And what started as kind of this dream of mine, like to just share this love for dance, it really, when I sat back and listened to it and I looked at it from a different way, I really started to discover my calling and my purpose in life. And it wasn't to teach dance, and it wasn't to perform on stage, and it wasn't to just share my love for dance. It was to empower other people to really find that greatness that they already have inside of them. So in my classroom, it wasn't about making the best dancers and winning the competitions. It was, is every child that leaves this room going to leave a better version of themselves? And then that started becoming when I started working with professional dancers. Are these dancers going to leave feeling the best version of themselves? And then fast forward to now, working with entrepreneurs across all industries, it's, you're amazing at what you do. It's really just finding the people who can be in your corner to help you embrace that. Right. So my vision continues now still to evolve into something just so much more than I ever imagined. During the 2020 pandemic, like a lot of us, there's huge transitions. The dance industry essentially shut down. I started Kathy King Strategies in that moment to coach dance professionals, choreographers, studio owners, freelance teachers like myself, to really treat themselves like Tom's the best dancer at his company. Love that. To really treat yourself like a business and really be mindful of, that you can make a living doing what you love. You just have to be a little strategic about it. So hence Kathy King Strategies, right? I became a founding member at Brighton Lighthouse in downtown Brighton. If you're familiar with this area, it's a gorgeous, amazing property. That's where I meet my in-person clients. I also am the facilitator of the holistic networking group there. And I really started connecting with other female business owners and other women who had this desire to start their own business. So I really discovered this need for women, particularly, to have someone in their corner to help them build that confidence, to go after the things that they really want to do, to be confident enough to say, I'm going to charge money for this thing that I'm great at doing, and to maybe like go against the grain and go against what society tells you is normal, to really build a life that's meaningful. So I became a certified women's entrepreneurship coach through Cornell University. I've done other various certification programs as well, and took my personal experience as a business owner and transferred that over to helping just support women in a really unique way. I want to pivot for a moment because I have to bring this into any conversation I have about my life as a business owner. Grab your tissues. My dad was my most amazing influence in my life. And so I really can't share my story as an entrepreneur without talking about my dad. And any opportunity I get to work him into a conversation, I will. If you did not know Raymond King, I pity you, because he literally was one of the most amazing men ever in terms of being a human and a business extraordinaire. He not only gave me that support that I talked about journey in my career, he taught me what it meant to be a servant leader. And I know in Caerusnet, we talk about that a lot, being a servant leader, really putting, being super intentional about really caring for people. The word cherish was brought up earlier, like really cherishing. And he really taught me how to focus on building relationships rather than just chasing clients and money. Definitely being mindful of being a smart business owner and, make that money, get your money. There's so much money to be made, but really focusing on building relationships. And unfortunately, one of the biggest life lessons that he was able to teach me came in a really tragic way. So, his life was cut short after a really brief battle with cancer. So in early November of 21, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. We believe it was metastatic prostate cancer. Men, go get your prostates checked, please. And just 4 weeks later, he passed away very unexpectedly before he was even able to begin treatment. Now, my mom was a lung cancer survivor. She was, she survived very aggressive late stage lung cancer and is still alive today. So our family were like, we're kicking cancer's ass. We got this. And then he passed away before we even had the chance to try. Most tragically, he retired on December 1st. I took him to his retirement party. We had a little Christmas gathering with his work team, and not even 36 hours later, he was dead. Thankfully, he wasn't suffering, all that at the very end. So he lived this amazing life. He traveled the world. He was the best father anyone could ever ask for. He was present, even though he literally worked and worked and worked. He was an amazing family man. He even was a race car driver. I was the cool kid in the neighborhood. He was a race car driver growing up. We always had the loud cars in the driveway. I spent my life road tripping this country and seeing amazing things because we were, pulling the trailer to go to different racetracks around. But there's so many things that he talked about doing that he never got to because it wasn't the right time. He didn't retire. He could have retired. He was only 64 when he retired. He was only 64 when he passed away. He could have financially retired in his 50s. He didn't do it because it wasn't the right time, or it wasn't, he wasn't the right age yet. He always wanted to start a business. He never started a business because it wasn't the right time. He always wanted to become a professor. He was the most epic storyteller ever and just knew so much about so many things. He never did it because he was waiting till retirement. He wanted to road trip the country again without pulling a trailer in the little 2-person RV that he almost put a deposit on. That he wanted to do in retirement with my mom, but he never did it because he just wanted to wait till retirement, right? And we've heard that story over and over again. I know you've heard this story before. And so the lesson that this taught me was that there's no better time than right now. And to overcome the fear of doing things differently than the masses is something that he taught me in this moment, right? So he had that fear of, no, it's just not the right time. I don't want to leave this stable corporate role that I'm in right now because it's just, I just want to wait till it's the right time, and so really like living your life in this authentic way that you really desire to live and building your business in a way that's going to support that life and not waiting until you think it's the right time. We so often are so afraid to take that jump into the deep end because it's not the right time. So that was definitely the biggest lesson that he taught me, in a super unfortunate way. But he still is teaching me every single day. If you've lost someone that you were this close with, I'm sure that you feel that as well, right? He's always like sitting on the shoulder and giving me those life lessons. So something that he really, I still hear his voice in my head, are the values that I hold dear that JJ definitely dived into as well during his conversation this morning. So thanks to my dad, like I have lived my entire life leaning into strong values. As a business owner, I use my values as a lens to look through when I need to make decisions, the easy decisions or the tough ones. Should I invest money in this product or service? Well, is it in alignment with my values? Is this the right client for me in my business? Well, is it in alignment with my values? Is this the right conference for me to go to? Is it in alignment with my values? Does this website copy make sense on my website? Is it in alignment with your values, right? So I always come back to this. I literally think of my values at just like this photo, like it is a lens that you're looking through when you need to make decisions. So just a little more about myself and Kathy King strategies. Some of my like personal and professional authenticity, just Kevin was talking about, joy, empowerment. You get what you get. I am who I am. If you have a conversation with me now, it's not going to look or sound different tomorrow. I'm one of the most authentic and real people you'll ever meet. Joy is so important to me. We take life a little too serious sometimes. We need to chill out, have a laugh, experience joy. Even in our hardest moments, even on our hard days, it's okay to experience joy. Even through navigating grief as an entrepreneur, that is such a dynamic that is so impossible sometimes, but it's okay to experience joy and grief at the same time. Even grief in your business, the highs and the lows, you're allowed to feel joyful even on the really shitty days. That's okay. And empowerment, like it's so important, especially as a female. especially in the line of work that I'm doing of empowering women to stand on their own 2 feet. And even, if they are in wildly supportive relationships with significant others, like it's okay to say, I am an independent and empowered woman that loves what I do and can make money doing it. So that is so important to me, to be able to pass that on. And so I want, I'll tell you a little bit more about what Kathy King Strategies does. I have a fun offer for you guys today as well. But I want to leave you with, always reminding yourself, always asking yourself, are you intentionally designing your business to be in alignment with how you want to live your life overall? So as opposed to going, oh, I have got this bucket list, right? I've got this bucket list. I've got all these things I want to do, and I'm going to just like make all this money now and then do all these things later. Well, I'm telling you right now, my bucket list, I've got some hikes I want to go on that when I'm 65, I'm not going to be able to do. So you better believe I'm going to go do them now. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to structure my business in a way that really allows me to go and do these amazing things, like my countdown on my phone telling me I'm going to Puerto Rico in 19 days and I'm shutting my business down for 2 weeks, and that's fine. And this October, I'm taking a group of women out to Northern California to go hike the James Irvine Trail that is life changing. And I'm shutting my business down to do that and go away and do things like that. So, it's just all these things. And I met with Carrie and she told me about her life changing hike, over in Spain and France, and just doing it. Like, there's so many of these incredible things. And Steve, I will get to Arizona and I will hike with you, and it's going to be great. So just so wonderful to be able to have that flexibility and freedom as a business owner, but it only comes if you're intentional about doing it. So we can't let ourselves fall back into that default mode of like, this is how things should be done. I have to work 40 hours a week. Listen, you're not going to catch me working 40 hours a week. I love my clients. I love them dearly. I'm a really hard worker, but I'm going to structure my business in a way that I can support myself and not have to work in ways that I don't want to work. Right. So it takes these little shifts that you make in connecting more deeply with your why, and connecting more deeply with your mission, connecting more deeply with your values. Steve, I love that. I don't look at the clock. I meet my goals. Right. Wonderful. Kevin, like, look, being a nomad for 5 years, get it. Like, that is, it's the way that we make these little shifts in our life, and we give ourselves permission to not be like everyone else. We give ourselves permission to maybe go against the grain, to swim upstream, right? And that's a courageous and brave thing to do. And as adults, I think sometimes we feel a little cheesy to say like, I'm really brave, but you know what? I'm holding on to that joy that I keep in my life by working with children. If you have not had the experience of teaching middle schoolers or coaching or doing something like that, I really encourage you, like, go volunteer coach for like a soccer game sometime. They will teach you so much more than any adult in this room, because they still hold on to that joy and they still have that light and that spark and that excitement and enthusiasm of showing up for the things that they love. And we need to hold on to that a little bit more. So that's where really like designing a business that supports your life, as opposed to letting your business become your life. And you start to regret, and you start to become resentful, and you really, it just really starts to kind of suck the joy out of things. So we don't want to do that. We want to hold true to our values. We want to make sure we're making those decisions through that lens. So yeah, so that was my excitement. You can tell I get really excited about this stuff. I could sit here with you for like 18 hours and talk about this. Hopefully I'll see some of you at Joe Cool's tonight. So Kathy King Strategy is, what do? I help women to build, launch, and grow purpose-driven businesses. Simple as that. I focus on the purpose-driven because it's not necessarily someone who wants to go purchase a Chick-fil-A franchise, which I will come eat your food, but that's not necessarily my client. My client is the woman who's super purpose driven, right? You have this impact you want to make in the world. Maybe it's that side hustle that you've been trying to bring to life. Maybe it's something that you're really great at, but you're scared to take that leap. Maybe you have an established business and you're super successful, but what's your next step? Or maybe that burnout is starting to creep in and you need someone in your corner. A coach helps you see your blind spots. A coach helps you stay motivated. A coach helps you like move in the right direction. A few of the things that I offer: one-on-one coaching that's super high impact. Virtually, I have clients all over the world, or in person. I meet here in Brighton, downtown at the Lighthouse, or I'm always happy to like take you out to lunch, do things like that. I offer group coaching. I actually have my Empowered Entrepreneur Coaching Program. It is a 6-week program. We meet on Wednesdays from 10 to noon at Brighton Lighthouse. Enrollment is open for that now. And I have a great offer for anyone here, or if you want to share it with someone you know, I'm offering 10% off of that. And I'll share some QR codes with you on my next slide. And that is kind of my signature group coaching program. This is my 4th year in a row running it. And I even have some clients who come back for more, that like to come back year after year and just get that refresh every spring. And then lately in the past year, I've introduced retreats and masterminds. I will be launching my Build, Launch, Grow Mastermind, which will be a monthly meeting of the minds. Get the gals together a few times a month. And so information will be on my website soon about that. So I would definitely encourage you to bounce over to my website, and I'll drop it in the chat. Sign up for my mailing list and all that so you stay in the loop. I will be hosting a destination retreat, as I mentioned, in Northern California this October. I will also be hosting a one-day local mastermind retreat situation, probably in the Ann Arbor or downtown Detroit area. I love both. Great food, great company, all of that. And then, and all of that together, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, retreats, masterminds. I'm building an army of women that are just taking over the world, and we're doing great things, and we are going out there and making our impact. So I would love to offer y'all, if you scan the QR code, it'll take you right there, or just connect with me. I can send you the links. That can sometimes just be a lot easier. KathyKingStrategies.com is my website. And my Empowered Entrepreneurs Coaching Program, that's an $800 investment. You'll get $80 off. If you use ReferralTopia when you sign up, there's a little bit of an application on that. I just want to make sure it's the right fit. That is for women anywhere from the idea phase all the way through the established business phase. We get together and help each other grow our businesses, looking at all aspects of the business. And then if that's not the right fit for you, I'm also offering 10% off a 30-minute or 60-minute individual coaching session. So please feel free to use that for yourself. Or if you have a woman in your life. Now, dudes, listen. I got nothing against dudes. You're great. I helped coach my husband into opening his own business. Doug Moffitt, full transparency. Him and I have worked together for years now. And Doug is an incredible leadership coach, just to give a little testimonial for him. So love working with the dudes as well. Just, the riches are in the niches, and I've really niched down to working with women. But I'm absolutely more than happy to have a chat with any of y'all. So there you go. I'd love to answer any questions. Love all this chatter in the chat. I got to go back and read some more of these things, but thank you so much for your time. And
hey, everybody, join me in giving Kathy a warm applause for a fantastic presentation. We can feel your passion through your presentation. Great job. We do have a moment for questions or comments. So if that's you, be the first one to talk. Any questions or comments for Kathy?
I'm reading through all our chat comments right now.
Yeah.
When do you find time to breathe?
You sound like me talking to my students. I tell my students, like, you have to breathe while you dance. I think that's how we stay alive a little bit. So I just, this gives me all the breath I need, the work that I do.
So Kathy, I was part of sort of a coaching program for female real estate agents, and the leader said it was for women and a few good men. So basically, the smart guys would sign up and benefit from all the energy and the momentum.
Yes.
That's great.
I like that. I'm writing that down.
Kathy, great job. You can tell your passion when you spoke. So thank you so much for today.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Any other questions or comments for Kathy? Okay, fantastic presentation. All of Kathy's contact information, all of our speakers' contact information, any offers, those are all going to be included in a recap email that everybody will get. Again, there will be a directory of everybody's contact information that registered for ReferralTopia today. That way, if you can't find it in the chat or the other stuff, there'll be a nice little concise directory of everybody's contact information. Say just like by a show of hands, if you got value from being at ReferralTopia today, I would love to see you throw your hand up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is a very unique event because it's very localized, right? Very localized. These are people you can go have a cup of coffee with. And I think that's one of the things that makes it real special. Plus, it's featuring some of CRTSNet's best. If you've heard that name, CRTSNet, and you're in the crowd and you're not a CRTSNet member, that's something that you might want to look into. It's great for all different businesses, both B2B and B2C. If you'd like more information about CRTSNet, feel free to contact me when I send you that recap email, and I would love to help you find a team that would be a great fit for you. But say we've got just a little bit of unfinished business before we come to a close here today. Just by another show of hands, who's planning on going to the Afterglow today between 4 and 6 p.m. at Joe Cool's? Okay, fantastic. Look for this handsome guy here in the corner. That's Doug Moffat. He's going to be the host. You'll meet Kathy King. You'll meet JJ Zielinski and a lot of the other folks here at ReferralTopia. Also, I'll be making a trip into Michigan in April for a wedding, and I'm going to be doing a meet and greet over at Brighton Coffee House from 8 until 11 a.m. on April 9th. That'll be included in the recap email as well. I'd love to meet you in person while I'm in Michigan. If you want to come hang out with me, let me buy you a coffee or a tea. Also, hey, we did some good stuff today. We got value. We had a great experience. We also raised some money for a worthy nonprofit. April, we were able to raise some money for you today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to see what you liked best about ReferralTopia today.
Thanks so much, Steve. That was awesome. I really enjoyed this. Is my first time at ReferralTopia, so it was great. I learned a lot of things. I really liked the networking, getting to know everybody in our little breakout groups. I thought that was valuable. We need more time to talk to people. 8 and 10 minutes went by way too quick. But yeah, it was great overall, and I'm excited to go to Joe Cool's tonight and hang out with everyone.
All right, fantastic. Say, I saw somebody, was that Cheryl? She put into the chat that she had a referral for Steve Beber. I love seeing a referral happen like that. So you are one of our door prize winners. I'll be getting your address and you'll be receiving something special in the mail from CRTSNet. Also, I wanted to ask those that were able to be part of the breakouts. Who is able to make a connection with at least two other people that you'll be following up with after ReferralTopia? Keep your hands up. Keep the hands up if the number is three other people or more. Okay, we're going to go with Karen Kilkenny as our other door prize winner for being an active and engaged networker. So thank you very much for that. At the end of every ReferralTopia, I always like to open the floor to all of our guests, anybody that has any comments, anything that you felt about today that you would like to leave us with. I'd love to hear from you as we're getting ready to sign off. So if you have anything you would like to leave us with, Jennifer Rice, looks like that's you. Just got to unmute.
I was raising my hand and it automatically did that. It was so great to meet some new people today. Thank you folks for inviting people that are new to CRTSNet. That was awesome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Hey, great job as always. You never amaze me. Cease to amaze me every time you do a ReferralTopia. Always good information. Always good times to be able to connect with people that you may not have met before, and just see the scope of things. So, thank you for doing that, and always job well done.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being an outstanding Celine CRTSNet facilitator. Appreciate you. Anybody else?
I just just wanted to say thank you. I tell my 16-year-old son that if you don't learn something new every day, you're not paying attention. So even at 65 years old and 30 years in my industry, I picked up a couple really interesting things today. So thank
That
you,
is
everybody.
that is great to hear, Brian, and thank you for that contribution. We appreciate it. Anybody else?
I'm just going to say I love having a chance where everyone steps out of the normal day to day. We get to regroup. We have like-minded people that are all in the same space with the same drive and passion. And it's really awesome to know that maybe I'm not rowing upstream alone. And there's these other people that are around us. And I love this group. This is a really cool event. Made some connections I want to follow up with, but I'm looking forward to seeing everyone tonight. And thanks, Steve, for putting this together, and thanks all the speakers.
Oh, thank you, Bill. It was great having you. I was excited to see when you registered that you were going to be here. So that's fantastic. Well, hey, anybody else? Let's put our hands together one more time for all three of our presenters, for JJ Zielinski, for Kevin Sabaski, for Kathy King. If you would like to be a ReferralTopia speaker in the future, please reach out to me and I can give you the details about that. I am going to put a quick poll on the screen as we exit today. I'd just like to get your feeling on a few different things. So I'm going to launch the poll right now and you can just click on your screen for that. The first question is, what's your favorite part of ReferralTopia? Is it the speakers? Is it the networking sessions? You can click on one of those. And then which speaker did you enjoy the most today? And then the last one is, based on your experience today, would you attend another ReferralTopia event? Good news for all of us. We are doing one this upcoming September, and it's great to have ReferralTopia veterans and newbies alike come together. So I appreciate all of you. I wish I could be there at the Afterglow today in Brighton. But again, I'll be in Brighton in April on the 9th. Would love to see you, and that will also be a part of the recap email that I send today. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off with ReferralTopia the same way that I sign off for all of my CRTS meetings, and that's bringing my little stay connected wristband up in the air because I am always connected and referring my Cirrus Netters. I'm always taking my team with me. And I think a great small business has a great team with them. So enjoy the rest of your day today. I look forward to hearing about you. Have a great time at the Afterglow. And don't forget to take your team with you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.